Welcome, everyone, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. It is June in wine country, and that means stads and grads. And graduation is always a big thing for everyone, obviously the graduates. I know last night my daughter Everest graduated from high school, so congratulations. It was really good. And was thinking a lot about, that's a big thing. And when you go back remembering your own high school graduation, what you were doing and how exciting you were and the world was opening up. And I do remember on my way to my graduation, I was driving. I got a little excited. I was speeding. I got pulled over. I got a ticket. I promptly forgot about it. And it wasn't until I was at college, a couple months later, my dad called me and said, "Did you get a ticket?" And I said, "Oh, right, I did." And so I had to pay that. That was a good way to get into adulthood because, it was on my record, and it was a good life lesson. Why am I bringing that up? I don't know. I just remember that. I bring up the graduation because my guest also had someone graduate and also graduate from high school and is also a dad. And he is I would say a friend of the podcast. He's been on a couple times, I think 3 or 4 times. He's well-versed in everything Sonoma Valley. He is, in fact, a very special guest. And this time I do actually mean it. Mark Bodenhamer from the Chamber of Commerce. How you doing?
Tim. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here, and congratulations both directions to both of us.
Yeah, that was
we
great.
Successfully took humans from birth-ish in
Yeah.
my part. Mine's adopted, but anyway, roughly 18 years.
From small to big.
Yeah.
And now, and what do we do? We change the locks?
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
done, right?
Yeah, just nudge them out. There will never be any more problems nor responsibilities for us to be a part of.
Success. It was a little awkward because I was expecting.
Hands, job done.
Yeah, but they gave, probably when your daughter graduated, go Dragons.
Yep.
They gave her a piece of paper.
Yeah, I believe so.
yeah,
I assume there
diploma.
was something in that little folded thing.
Right. But they didn't give us anything.
Oh, really?
Did you? No, meaning as a dad.
Oh, no.
No, we were just
got
there in the
something.
same.
I was handed a thing.
You were?
Yeah.
What were you given?
Like a literal diploma that was printed and inside of a little folded.
And it said, "Congratulations, Dad, on your kid graduating."
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like,
I didn't
what did you get?
I thought you meant at my high school graduation
Oh, right.
in 1996.
Go Vikings. No, wait. Go
Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah.
Sorry. Santa Rosa High.
Santa Rosa High.
No, so you did it.
Yeah.
And we both did it. That's good.
Okay, so you mean there was no printed program at the
No, for
graduation?
you, for your dad, saying, "Hey, Dad, your kid graduated high school."
Oh, I see.
Congratulations.
Yeah, nobody pats me on the back, and nobody gave me a check for $100.
I know. Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You too.
If
I'll
I
write
had-
you a check
yeah,
for
if I had
$100, and you
$100
write me one for $100.
Cross Venmo each other.
That would be great.
Did you guys do anything special after graduation?
We did. We went had a nice big family dinner at Il Fuoco, a great pizza
good.
place up in the Springs.
Pizza.
Awesome spot. Fresh ingredients.
You guys all went there?
We all went up there, had pizza. My daughter Lola was there for just a few minutes before she bounced and went over to the grad night ceremony or
Correct.
party thing that
More
they
fun
do.
stuff to do.
It's a wonderful thing about Sonoma. It's a small town. We're able to do the graduation and then just a 5-minute drive, a perfect little setup.
someplace else.
Someone that's interested in setting up a little group dining reservation for us. So it was great.
We did have tomorrow. I guess we should have all these parties we have to go to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're lined up.
Yeah.
So my wife's like, "Okay, da-da-da-da. I'm like, that sounds exhausting.
Because it's everybody that you know. Everyone really, when you're a parent, most of the people you know are your kids'
Friends,
parents. So everybody's going through the exact same thing at the
Right.
exact same time. We've moved a couple times, so that's made it a little bit easier.
Good job.
Yeah.
You separated some wheat from the chaff, did you? We're out of here.
Yep.
Don't have to invite them.
Yeah.
Well, good. And the reason why I bring the graduation and stuff and things that going on is that you've got a new program beginning.
Yeah.
And that's why I brought you here.
Yeah.
Other than that you're charming and
thank you.
smart and
And your backup plan for emergency situations.
I do have a few. We're rolling out a new program this Friday. Tell me about it.
Very excited about it. Friday Night Flights. It is a new program that we're doing all summer long. So June, July, and August. If it's going gangbusters, maybe we extend it. But for now, we're just doing. We're saying it's June, July, and August. So one of the things we've heard in wine country, the traditional flow of wine country, the wineries are open roughly 10 to 5, right?
Right.
And so a lot of times people who come to visit here have gotten here at 4:30 on a Friday and excited, and the wineries are primarily closed. So what we wanted to do was kind of start the ball rolling. I think actually there's a big market for people that want to be out and doing kind of casual after-hours wine tasting. So we basically started that. We've got groups of wineries that are organized kind of week by week throughout the summer. So there's a cluster that is the first and the fifth week. We'll go through the dates specifically. One for the second Fridays, one for the third Fridays, and one for the fourth Fridays.
Oh, I got the method to your madness. I'm looking at the poster here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on so let's say the first week, June 6th, it's going to be 6 different wineries. We've got Garricky Winery, Grand Scheme Wines. They're up in the Glen Ellen area,
the Jack London Village.
Garricky's right by the Plaza. Shug Winery, which is down in the South Sonoma Carneros area. They do Pinot and Chardonnay. Walt Wines, another great Pinot Chardonnay producer. And then Winery 16600. They do amazing Rhone varietals and Zinfandel. Really kind of an eclectic mix. And
cool record collection.
Really great. Yeah, over 900 records. A great Grateful Dead memorabilia. So the idea is when you come, check in, and you get here to Sonoma on a Friday. Now from 5:30 to 7:30, there's going to be wineries open.
Okay.
There's some up in the north part of the valley. There's some down in the south part of the valley, and then there's a bunch kind of right around Sonoma proper. So something for everybody. We've tried to make sure there were different price points so that they're, if you want less expensive options, we've got that. If you want
premium experiences.
Every week there's one that's kind of like a premium winery that's a little higher price point. So if that's your thing, you want the ones with the cool ratings and age-worthy wines, that's available to you too. So every Friday, all throughout the summer, we've got them on the website, sonomachamber.org/Friday night flights. You can check out the whole schedule. It links to the websites for the wineries. And then the other cool part is we've got restaurant partners that are participating as well. So let's say you go to Winery 16600. You're there trying their wines. You really love they do a Rhone white blend that's awesome. You really love it. So you can buy a bottle of that and take it to the participating dining restaurants, and you get free corkage. So you can,
cool.
So
you can go up to like Songbird Parlor up there in Jack London.
Exactly. Yep.
And that's a fantastic place. Their epic fried chicken nights are back too.
Yep.
You can bring that bottle there, and there's no corkage.
Free corkage. Yep. So one per table, and it's for a later reservation. So so the idea is you hang out at the winery till 7:30, and then you go over to the restaurant afterwards. So we're one to kind of create.
So you're
this
solving
flow
two problems
of things staying open later. That's part of it, and then So it's fun, and we appreciate your partnership, Visitors Bureau, Vintners and Growers. Everybody working together on this, and the cool thing is the venues are excited about it. I've, a lot of times, this, we work with the partners and send them marketing materials, and it sometimes doesn't go anywhere. But everybody's really kind of, I think we've got a good, catchy vibe.
Yeah, okay,
We're
Friday
ripping
night
off,
flights.
Yeah.
So I brought that up. My mom, who listens to this, immediately thought of boxing and Friday night fights. And I said, Mom, you are violent.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that.
That was a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
But you and I might know Friday Night Lights.
Yes, which I was. That's one of those shows where I watched every.
You did
I
really?
watched it afterwards. I didn't watch it while it happened. I binged it off of Netflix later. But it was one of those shows where when it ended, I was actually acutely sad. I was like,
it's funny because did you play sports in high school?
Not super organized football. I mean, I played hockey and pickup.
Oh, it's fun stuff.
Yeah.
But because I haven't actually watched the show. I've seen clips of it.
Okay.
And I've seen lots of parodies of it.
Yeah.
But I've never watched the whole show. So you're recommending it.
It is. So let's say this was probably now 15 years ago that I watched it. So, but I really enjoyed it. It's a good, human drama.
Okay.
And
about a West Texas high school,
storytelling.
a football team, and a coach moves to town.
Exactly. New coach and it's, Texas football, right? Texas high school football. So it's
very
all
important.
The pressures thereof. And just interesting stories and fun and,
So we riffed off that. Instead of Friday Night Lights, it's Friday Night Flights. Wineries.
So it might be flights, it might be wines by the glass, but the point is it's not a seated tasting where, you sit down, it's going to be 90 minutes, it's structured, it's a full education. This is more you get off work, go have a couple glasses of wine and meet some friends for dinner.
Informal fun.
Exactly. It's a new way to explore wine country.
No, and I like it too for the visitor standpoint. You're absolutely right. People do check in. They get here around 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah.
They get in their hotel room. They're like, let's go out.
Yep.
And immediately, it's like classic, like tumbleweeds and like a hawk. And like, what's going on? It's so quiet.
Yeah.
And there isn't a lot of wineries that traditionally will stay open later.
Right.
Usually that's because, they're used to people starting, around noon.
Yep.
Usually by 5 o'clock they're done.
Yep.
And they didn't know if they have the staff to kind of stay open.
Exactly. And so that's kind of why we arranged it the way we did. It was this way, the staff at every winery doesn't need to give up every one of their Friday nights. They just take turns. So, the ones, let's go through the ones that
who else is
are
doing
next week. So the second Friday, we've got Capo Azzetta, which is on the
right
Plaza.
on the Plaza. Good.
Gauchon Tasting Room, just south of the Plaza. Hamel, which is up in kind of in
Glenwood?
between the Springs and
Ken Ellen, the spring. What is it? Is
Exactly.
it Glen Ellen? I guess Glen Ellen. Yeah.
Springsy Ellen.
Yeah.
In between the Springs and Glen Ellen. Jacuzzi Family Vineyards, which is down in the south part of the valley. Moon Hollow Estate, right on the Plaza. San Giacomo Wines, longtime partners with the Chamber. So the nice thing for them is they just need to. Their team is there one Friday per month.
Right.
But it still keeps the momentum going. So for locals, if you want to make this like a fun tradition with friends and neighbors at Friday afternoons in the summer, we're going to go do this. Friday night flights.
I like that.
Before you go to dinner or that could be the end of your night. Just Friday go from 6 to 6:30 and have a glass of wine somewhere.
And I see the restaurants that series will be the Plaza Bistro.
Yep. Good friends at the Fairmont Mission Inn, the Sante restaurant.
Great spot right there.
Very
right
cool.
Yeah.
And then Hot Monk Tavern right in the heart of Sonoma. So so again, same thing with the restaurants. What we tried to do is have some, sprinkle around geographically, also some different price points. So you'll see Il Fuoco and Hot Monk kind of repeating because they're sort of like a little lower price
casual,
point. Right. Yeah. And that way, if somebody doesn't want to spend, a couple $100 on dinner,
right.
You can take your bottle, free corkage, go get a pizza at El Fuoco or a burger at
the fried chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
you're twice I bought a fried chicken. Shoot.
Yeah. So bring your bottle of wine that you got at the thing. Get a fried chicken sando and a salad.
You're good to go.
2 people, that's $50, and you're.
Hot Monk have live music on Fridays?
I don't know. Maybe check their website.
Look for details. Some of the other wineries you have, Anova, which is near the roundabout, and there's soon to be amazing art that's going to go in there eventually.
Yep.
Hamilton Family Wines.
Yeah, they're up in Kenwood. Those who drive the Highway 12, you'd recognize the balloons.
Balloons are there. Nice family. Really nice people.
Great family, good wines. Really cool location. They have a beautiful patio, and so that'll be great all summer long. You can
sit
be
right
outside
there.
until 7.
That actually is good because up there you'll see the sun setting against the hills too.
Yeah,
that'll be super pretty.
Yep.
You got Cayman Estate.
Yeah, that's if you're into big red wines, that is the place.
That's
to
the
go.
one.
They've got real heavy hitter Cabernets. Okay. They've got some nice. They've got a Grenache and a Syrah and a Sauv Blanc and some things like that to kind of offset the Cabernets. But what they're known for is big juicy Moon Mountain cabs. Yeah. Killstat Cellars down at the south end of the valley in Shellville area. Pangloss right smack dab on the Plaza. Okay. And then Roche, the tasting room on the northwest corner of the Plaza. Not the winery down south. But.
And Roche traditionally actually would stay later. Yeah. They were one of our go-tos for people.
Yep.
And they also have a nice little front patio area.
Exactly. So, and them, Capo Zed, I want to make sure people know, Moon Hollow as well. They're actually open late Fridays most nights anyway. So we just kind of, they were great. You can imagine putting this puzzle together of what weeks people wanted to do. Right. So it was nice having a few that are open. So just a friendly reminder that, today, if you want to go to the ones that we listed for today's winery, or whatever, the Capo is at Moon Hollow, Roche, they're all going to be open Fridays until 6, 7:30.
They're always are anyway. Yeah, but not always the same deal with the corkage and the restaurants. Yep. Okay, that's good to know.
Yep. And then so the dining partners for the third week, which is June 20, July 18, and August 15. That's Layla at MacArthur Place, Palooza Brewery and Gastropub up in Kenwood area, and then Il Fuoco again.
Good.
And then rounding it out, the last week, so the fourth Friday of every month, we've got Corner 103. They're working on getting their space ready. Extra Dimensional Wine Co., which is another one like 16600, a really eclectic mix of
Hardy's
wines.
got the best glasses.
Oh, yeah.
You see these bright orange glasses.
And he's one of those guys that, you ask him like one question about wine, and it's like 40 minutes of just dazzling, really interesting.
Yes.
He's just so passionate about what he does. I love chatting chatting with him about wine, and makes really cool stuff. Passionate about Movedras, sort of his,
different unique styles of wines.
Yep, he's kind of the mad scientist, I like to call him. Larson Family Wines, another outdoor one that's going to be great to celebrate summer nights.
Down a little lane down there,
you can bring your dog. Wines, all kinds of different wines at Larson. Robledo.
They still have a 3 Lab cab.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Robledo Family Winery, another one down at the south end of the valley. Three Sticks Wines, that's another one that's kind of a premium Chardonnay Pinot producer. Really beautiful spot. And then Von Duffy Wines, another Chardonnay and Pinot. We're hitting that a lot, which is, I guess, appropriate for Sonoma Valley.
Right.
But Matt Duffy, the owner winemaker there, is really up and coming.
He won a big award of the Harvest Fair Award. I think he was really surprised. His Pinot, I think, won or something. And
And then he got some other recognition this year, so it
and he was like shocked.
Starting to figure
now
it
I need
out.
a lot of wine.
So this is the time to get in there and try his wines before the prices get jacked up in a couple.
Yeah, he's up there in Kenwood too, right next to Hamilton.
Dining partners for the fourth Friday, we've got the Swiss Hotel right there on the Plaza, as they have been for 100 years. Poppy Glen Ellen, which is the new Girl in the Fig outfit down there, and then Hot Monk Tavern again. So, so again, every week, it doesn't matter which part of the valley you're in. It doesn't matter if you want to be on a lighter budget or do a little splurging.
Right.
There's a winery option and a restaurant option. You can work it together, and it's just going to be a fun Friday night.
I like this.
Yeah,
this is a great idea.
Great way to kick off a weekend.
So
I love our little tagline. Sonoma takes flight on Friday night. It rhymes.
Got to have the internal rhyme.
Yeah.
It totally works.
Rhymes or alliteration. If you see a Sonoma Chamber program that doesn't have one of those,
something's wrong.
I've lost my mind.
You know what's funny? No, because we did Sonoma Sips. You've got Friday Night Flights.
We have Wine Down Wednesday.
Everyone has these little. It works though.
It does. Yep.
And at least you're not doing. And please, I hope you haven't done it, or you're not going to do the next thing. But visit, stay, play, dine, stay, play. Every chamber does one of those. It's like the banner.
Yeah.
And it's like that weird cutout clip art of somebody.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like, wow, this town's so original. I'm going to dine, stay, and play.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm going to beat the alliteration and rhyming to death, but I'll stay away from that one at least.
That one's a classic.
Yeah.
Mark, so this is happening, and we had Robin Sebastiani on earlier at the Sonoma 200.
Yeah.
Were you able to go to the
Spritz
soiree last night?
I was, yeah.
Give me the after action report.
It was great, and I got to tell you this. I'm not a huge wine cocktail drinker, but it was great. It was really
they're refreshing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
we made one here live.
Yeah,
and what we probably should have done was practice it a few times because Robin, and she was actually on TV doing it real time. So I was like her test run here.
Yeah,
but even our test run was really good.
Yeah,
it's light. You said refreshing. The fig has a really neat taste to it.
Totally. And it's cool because it's the other flavors. You still get to taste the rosé base, which is important to me because we want to show off the wine here, and we want that to sing and be the star.
Right.
And we have so many great rosés around the valley. This is a time where everybody starts popping those out. Last year's the 2024 rosés are being released.
They are
right
out
now.
there into the wild.
And we have so many great ones. We mentioned Three Sticks earlier. They have the Castagnata Rosé that I think is one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's like this just
the
delicious,
Three Sticks you're talking
bright
fuchsia.
Fuchsia. Yeah.
Oh, hey Prema, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Drop some off the old visitors bureau.
We'll be here for an hour.
We'll do a review.
It's cool. So two things about it. One, it's this really just wonderful color. It's the most vibrant, vivid color of a rosé that I've seen. It's like a fuchsia color. This year's version is slightly less intense in color, but still great. And then at the other end of the spectrum, Winery 16600, they have a Grenache rosé that it's like they crush the grapes, they show the skins to the juice, and that's basic.
And then he talks about soil for 5 hours.
Yeah. So it's not.
They love their farming.
It's almost the color of a white wine. It's just got this.
But it doesn't have that kind of rosé-ish taste.
But it does. You get a little bit of the tannin, you get a little bit of the flavor. So. So anyway, it's a fun time of year because they go great on a nice warm day like this.
And a lot of people associate rosé, perhaps from the past, as being overly sweet and syrupy.
Totally.
And they're not. They're light.
Coming out of a box.
And coming out of a box, and because your parents can't see the levels, because it's in the fridge. But it really is a delightful, relaxing, refreshing drink.
Yeah.
Not what we knew in the 80s.
Exactly.
And
it's one of those things where I think for a long time, the people who were making rosé were it was something you did with extra red wine grapes.
Correct.
And it was basically like the runoff from some other thing. And they just said,
they're like, well, we got some extra bottles.
Let's see if we can sell this to somebody instead of dumping it down the drain.
Right.
But at some point, somebody, took the time to say, well, hey, what if we treated these grapes special like we do the premium varietals that we're working with? And so now they're making these really elegant, refined, balance. I think balance, you mentioned.
That's a good way to put it.
That's the word that I think segregates the rosés you find today from the ones that were at on grandma's counter 40 years ago.
Just sitting there fermenting again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Robin did the that Sonoma soiree or splat.
Sonoma Spritz Soiree.
Alliteration. Yeah. There we go. And they're doing Sonoma Spritz month right now for June. So you can go and make the Spritz. You can learn the recipe. It's on our website. It's on her website.
There's a bunch of local restaurants that are serving it. I know that Red Grape is serving it. I think that they're doing one at B&V.
Okay.
Whiskey Bar. And there's a few others.
I think Layla's got one on the menu.
Layla's definitely got one. They were the first to do it. And I understand that they're selling like hotcakes.
Really?
So, people are digging it. And
this party was poolside. Did anyone end up in the pool?
I didn't say until the bitter end. It's been a busy couple of weeks.
It has been,
but it was wonderful. It was one of those, for those who don't live here, Sonoma is, the size of a postage stamp. It's a tiny little community.
Right.
And so nights like that where kind of the whole wine community shows up, everybody knows everybody. And so it's like, I'll just go as soon as I say hi to everybody I know is a 45-minute long thing. So really fun vibe. Good. And, you touched on it. I know you guys probably hit on it hard last time, but what a special time to be here, 200th harvest. Yep. And it's really cool. Wine and history just are intertwined.
Correct.
It makes it so much more fun. Going wine tasting and knowing about, how did we get here from there. So the Castagnata rosé that they have at Three Sticks, it's in a bottle that's shaped like a whiskey bottle. It's not in a traditional wine bottle. And the reason for that is because they're in a 250-year-old adobe. Mm-hmm. And when they renovated the back patio, they were digging and they found these old whiskey bottles that were buried that were from, hundreds of years before we were a grape growing region. Huh. And so to kind of honor that history, they put that, and there's a white and a red that go into that same bottle. But anyway, it's just really it's good timing for you, me, and Robin to be here representing the area while we're going through this
historic
time marker.
And having fun with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're having fun later tonight. And people, by the time this comes out, people won't know about it, but you will be doing an event at the Stompers.
Yeah, so, people forget about tonight, but all summer long, Stompers games, that is really, it's one of the...
Who are they? What are they?
So it's it's not minor league, it's a semi-pro baseball team that's part of this league. So there's teams from Napa, Rohnert Park, San Rafael. Tonight we're playing the San Francisco Seagulls.
Okay.
So a few years ago when they changed leagues, now it's college players that want to kind of the college season's over. So these are guys that want to extend their season just to develop their skills, to keep playing baseball, stay fresh, maybe get seen by some scouts because it's usually kind of the better players on college teams. And it just makes it this really fun vibe out there because these are guys that are, they're not, snooty baseball stars. These are guys that are scrapping and clawing and doing what they love. When one of them hits a home run, people literally walk around with a hat and you drop money in the hat and you give it to the kid that just hit a home run.
Does he share it with the pitcher? Do you think there's a kickback there?
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm going to investigate that. And then tell me, it's an enormous stadium and you're far away from the action.
No, that's the wonderful thing. That was a real nice hardball question there, Tim. Thank you. The stadium, it's super intimate. I mean, you are literally like you could almost reach out and touch the back of the umpire if you're sitting in the stands right behind home plate there. There's a beer garden you can actually rent for a party if you've got a family reunion or something. What a perfect way to do, on a Thursday night or something.
Yeah.
And it's inexpensive. There's things they let kids go and run around the base pass. There's all the kind of hokey minor league baseball-esque promotional things.
Yes.
There's fun, organ playing, music stuff happening, and it's like getting in a time machine and going back into old school baseball.
It is old school fun.
Yeah,
and you're next to the action. You walk right from the plaza. You're right there.
Yep. It's super affordable. You can bring the entire family and get, hot dogs and the game tickets and everything else. You're probably all in like $25 a person.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do entertainment wise that's going to get
That's on par with like a movie.
Right.
When you think about it.
Yep.
Right. And
yep.
and
you're outdoors in Sonoma. And because it's so like, I don't know that I've ever seen the end of a Stompers game. It's because it's like so affordable. You go, you check it out, you have a beer, enjoy the game, and then,
And then you got to go to the next, because you're marked in the chamber. Like, I got to go. And I got another thing I got to do.
But it's so much fun. I love being around there. I grew up going to Giants games and playing baseball, Little League as a kid. And it just really, there's something just super satisfying about being out there.
And then you got the hill right behind you and the sun is setting. And
the stadium's really cool, old school looking stadium. Yeah. Pro tip though, you do not want to park your car on the row of cars that's on the first base line. Because foul balls do come out there. And
brought to you by Safe Flight Repair. Or I guess you say whoever the local windshield guy is. That is fun, the Stompers. And I was hoping to get some merch. I couldn't find any in time, but I think you can buy hats and stuff there.
Yeah, I've got a great hat. I love wearing that.
I know. I was trying to find one. Yeah. And I wanted to be...
You had to get it at the stadium.
I know. I wanted to be a merch spot at the Visitors Center.
Okay.
But I'll
get you in touch with the guy.
Yeah.
Seriously. Hey, you want to know what's happening across the street from the Stompers game?
I was wondering if there was anything else in that area, because sometimes I like to get very theatrical.
Yeah. Yep. So, fun little quirk of Sonoma is we have the baseball stadium just north of the Plaza on 1st Street West, and directly across the street is where they are currently setting up for the best night ever.
Best night ever. Tell me about that.
Broadway Under the Stars. So really excited. So Transcendence Theatre Company, they've been doing theatrical performances in and around Sonoma Valley for a decade?
Easily a decade.
15 years, maybe.
Yeah.
You'll have to get Brad or Amy on here
to find out.
But really cool productions, and it is just magical being outside.
Right.
Again, I'm just continuing to hit on that. Sonoma's a wonderful place. It's the weather here.
Well, the weather's nice. Like
all the time.
If you go to an outdoor concert, I've been to some in the Midwest where you're just like sweating.
Right.
Or it snows on you, and you're like, wow, this is the worst May ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here in Sonoma, it's like it's cool at night, but it's not cold.
Right.
And the sun starts to set. Yeah. There's no humidity. There's no bugs.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you have these Broadway stars.
Yep, with like this beautiful sunset happening behind it. And really fun, cool shows, great singing. We went to a little media preview thing a couple weeks ago. And man, the level of talent is just incredible.
It blows. Every time I see them, I forget, these are literal professionals. Because you see them walking around town. Yeah. And then, like, wow, you travel, you've been on Broadway. Like, you're a big deal.
Yeah.
And then you're here in Sonoma in the Field of Dreams, which is the baseball diamond across from the Stompers play.
Do you have the names in here? I can't even remember.
You're right here. Broadway's best. Or the names of what?
The performers. So we at this media preview thing, they have this guy who comes out, and literally all of the women in the audience just stop doing what they're doing.
Was there swooning going on?
Oh man, this
Did he have a
kid,
pompadour?
I was so mad at him. He was so good looking and talented. Oh goodness, yeah. This kid could do everything. Right. I mean, he's probably like 25 or something.
He's a kid. Get off my lawn.
Like, again, just staggering amount of talent, and they can sing. They're fun. They're entertaining. They interact with the crowd in a cool way. Right. It's not like so grand that you're separated from it. I mean, it still feels like this really cool swirly blend of community theater, but also Broadway, where it's fun, it's interactive. And the people they love this production. I mean, this is not something that they're doing begrudgingly and like, that these were the guys that were offering the best pay. Like, these are people who keep coming back to Sonoma. The performers love being here. You can see the camaraderie up there. And they make it really fun. I'm not like a huge Broadway guy personally, but I've been a couple times, and I have a great time every time I go out there.
I'm on the same level of fandom as you.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, this is really fun.
Yeah, totally.
And I don't know why. I would never, and I know people do this, like they go to New York to see like 8 shows.
Sure, yeah.
And I've never once in my life said.
It's never even occurred to me.
I know. And I know someone who does that. I'm like, I didn't think that was an option.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But when I see this, I'm like, well, this is fun.
Yeah.
And you leave there feeling good.
Yep.
And then I should say, it's just north of the Plaza, so people can go to get dinner or do some wine tasting before, then go to this.
Yep.
There's even, for people who have mobility impairments, there's scooters that Push Pock Motor will be running up and down.
The other thing they have a bunch of local businesses that are doing like picnic food, so you can go and get. I know Alakai Catering is part of it. There's a couple other
just
local.
ate some delicious food from Alakai.
Spread Kitchen, I think, is doing.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
I just had some of that. I was lazy and used a corporate food delivery service to bring it to me.
You did.
Yeah, I did, but they,
hold on. A side note: I was at a ice cream shop in the Plaza, and someone walks in with Taco Bell.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It was a delivery driver."
Oh wow!
For one of the services for Taco Bell delivery to a kid working in the back at the ice cream shop.
Oh, I see. I thought you were going to say somebody DoorDashed ice cream, which I thought was a bold decision.
Oh,
playing with fire
yeah.
there.
You're like, I hope they can get there fast.
Yeah.
I thought, that's kind of funny. I've never seen it going in. But anyway,
But anyway, so there's a bunch of local restaurants that are partnering with Broadway Under the Stars with Transcendence. So you could go pick up food and bring it down there. They have picnic tables available for people. I think Hot Monk's going to have a food truck out there. And the other cool thing is they have wine partners every time. So local wineries. So it's this really cool, it's Broadway, which again, like I said, it's not for me to go down either to San Francisco or fly to New York and go sit inside and go see a play. I'm, maybe sometime I get talked into that, but this is really fun. You're outdoors. It's got this cool community vibe. Really great performances. The songs are like songs that I didn't know I knew, but somehow I knew these songs. A lot of them, like last year, there was a show that was a lot of like kind of. Motown style songs. So really fun. You feel yourself kind of popping up and down the chair. And then you've got the wine partners out there. So so what a fun night. A little picnicky food. Like you said, you could just go to EDK or Girl in the Fig and grab a quick meal at the bar and then head over or grab something and break it down. So
and I'll say real quickly, the 3 shows this summer, Best Night Ever, June 12th to 22nd. The musical called Beautiful it's called the Carole King musical. She was a songwriter and performer. Or maybe still is. Now I don't know if she's still alive or not, and I feel bad. I'm pretty confident she's still alive. That. Yeah, Carole, if you're listening, I'm sorry if you're still alive. I mean, I'm glad you're still alive. Google that. And then Ladies of Broadway, which is sort of like songs from female performers that have been on Broadway, September 4th through 14th. They are award-winning performances. Information at bestnightever.org.
And I'm sorry Tim didn't know this, but off the top of my head, I do know Carole King is alive. Happen to know she was born on February 9th, 1942. She's 83 years old and 5'4".
And she's 5'4", which I forgot because I saw her once. I'm like, wow. Yeah. But she sits down a lot at her piano. Yeah. So you don't know her actual height that much. But that's impressive, Mark. Wow, you are an aficionado.
Dug that right
that's amazing. You're an aficionado. Mark, I've got some quick stuff here. Other concerts that are happening around the Plaza, the Sonoma Sundays on the Plaza for Music in Place.
Great local organization. We're really proud to partner with them. Really fun. They got some, last year they had Maria Moldar.
No, this is legit.
Right. When I saw it at first, apparently I just am underwhelmed by everything at the beginning, or I'm suspicious of everything.
Mark's cynical, like Gen Xer. I don't know. What's the big deal?
But again, like the caliber of performers is really surprisingly great. You're going to have a great time if you go out and check it out. And the price is right on that one.
Sundays.
Free 99.
It was funny because free 99. He moved it from, he was going to do early Fridays. He used to do like Friday afternoons, and it wasn't as busy when they first rolled this out. And he understood because people don't really check into their hotels until midday Friday, hence the Friday night flights.
Yeah.
So he moved this to Sundays so people will stick around.
Yeah.
And it's a great reason to stick around. So that's Sundays on the Plaza, Sunday afternoons.
Did you see who's playing August 3rd?
August
Very excited about
3rd is, oh, yes, I should say, KSVY's own and Sonoma Spiel editor, Bob Taylor, although Bobo Diablo, of illegitimate AC/DC.
Yeah. And JMB.
And James Marshall Berry, my favorite debater on Facebook, is Bob takes his shirt off sometimes and lets it rip.
Yeah. This is midsummer, so probably good odds for Bob.
This is going to be fantastic.
The winter shows, you don't want to see Bob with
it's not so good, but it's fantastic. And Bob is actually a really talented musician.
It's incredible.
Actually, the music
all of them, all the musicians in the AC/DC band, like
they're actual musicians.
So because you and I both know Bob and James, like I'm sorry again, Mr. Cynical. I was like, oh, maybe it's like a jazzy cover of AC/DC.
Hey, baby, I'm on the highway to hell.
Yeah. Because, Bob's so mild-mannered around here.
He's very quiet. He's very...
So the first time I went to see the show, I remember, like, kind of opening the door. This was at Reel and Brand back in the day, which is now Buck's Place. I remember just opening the door, and it is full tilt rock and roll.
Wall of sound blasting out.
Intensity.
And he's jumping around the stage.
Yeah, right.
Or
like walking through the crowd with the either wireless guitar or just dragging the wire. It is a really fun show, so highly recommend. They're playing Pengrove pretty soon.
I'm going to that one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's a great time.
It is really good. And I got to say, on this podcast, the intro music and the outro music is also Bob's original compositions.
Yeah.
So he does a good job of that.
Cool.
So that's the music on the Plaza.
Should we talk about this guy next?
Speaking of amazing music, but of a slightly different type.
Yeah.
The Valley of the Moon Music Festival is coming back in July here in Sonoma. Now, what's interesting about this is it's classical music. It's played often in place here, and it's played on a lot of instruments that are of the time. So they're actually on instruments from the 18th century. And I've had them on before. These is another one of those things, Mark, where you're like, why is this in Sonoma? Because this person was just like in Geneva or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're sitting in this 50-room or 50-person, amphitheater thing with them.
Yeah.
You're like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah. It's really, we're very fortunate. We're in a special place here. And so kind of the place is a draw, like I said about the Broadway people, I think people want to come and travel here.
No, we're lucky about being an arts destination.
We don't have to recruit them like we might if we were in some middle of nowhere.
I'll say it.
Awful town.
Brought to you by the Peoria Chamber of Commerce. No, so please come to Peoria. Please play in Peoria. No, you're absolutely right. Is that because we are a destination, we do draw a bit above our weight on people that can come in here. And so the Valley of Music Festival, Tanya Tompkins and Eric Zivian, they're the directors of it. And they have a whole course of youth that are learning classical music. Yeah. They've got the cellos, the violins. Can you name another instrument quick, Mark? They've got the the piano and the other one. Oh, and the viola.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
By the way, did you ever make your kid do the Suzuki method violin?
No, okay. She played the violin for 2 seconds. And it didn't go well, but thankfully, we all knew it. She was aware of it.
She had self-awareness.
Yes.
I'm going to play lacrosse someday, Dad. That's what she did.
Exactly.
But yeah, so this is the Valley of the Moon Music Festival, which is July 12th
through 22nd. Yep. Kind of a few different venues throughout the valley.
Yep.
Hannah Center, Buena Vista Winery, La Luz Center, Community Center patio. Yeah. That's going to be great.
That is really good.
So yeah, all kinds of fun for the whole family.
I got to get them back on here. I had them perform during when we had COVID. We had them performing on the Plaza for the outdoor lighting of the Plaza, the one we pre-recorded, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
and they were I was blown away, and definitely worth seeing.
Yeah,
even if you're not a classical music person.
Yeah.
Did I give you one of these?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this over there. Did you get it? So also string related, but not the same kind of music. There is a bluegrass festival.
Yeah.
Coming to Klein Family Winery.
Yep.
And that's July 12th.
Yeah.
1 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's been a while. We used to have a lot more concerts at wineries.
Yeah.
They kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
I think they're coming back.
Yeah, I think so.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're really fun. The Klein family, fantastic.
Yep.
Klein Jacuzzi down there south of town.
Yep.
And I think this is going to be a really good bluegrass festival.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this.
Yep. I think this is the second year they're doing it, and I think
so,
that there was a previous iteration that fizzled, and so they brought this back. And I remember last year the idea was, well, we're going to kind of get it started again and see how it goes. But like immediately, to your point about people bringing these back, there's a market for this.
There is. There is.
Music and wine really go well together.
Yeah, you're just chilling out.
They have beautiful outdoor spaces at Klein Winery, and they're one that's cool too because there's a bunch of different wines. There's different price points. There's something for everybody. Klein's have been they're up there on the longest tenured chamber members. They've been, they've been a long time hanging out.
But didn't you say? I think you said the other night you had like the San Giacomo's been there for like 70 years.
Yeah, so San Giacomo's over 75. Araldi's, the menswear store on the Plaza, is over 100 years.
For real.
Yeah. Yeah, so we find after 100 years, we said, just stop paying us. Here, remember,
it's okay. You're in.
Yeah.
You win. Here's your plaque.
You've beaten us into submission. And the nice thing is there's a gap, like 25 years until the next longest tenured member.
Wow.
And so I'll probably be dead or something by that
time. For the next time it comes around.
So that's somebody else.
Okay, so that's the Klein Country Bluegrass Festival. Mark might be dead, but it's going to be great.
I'll be alive for this. July 12th, 2025. It's 1 to 8 p.m. And again, check out Klein's website. Great place to visit, whether you're here for that weekend or not. That whole stretch down there's some really cool spots with Annaba, Shug Winery. Yep. Gloria Ferrer is a great place to start.
Good views.
Awesome views.
Sparkling wine.
With some bubbles. You got Fianza, got Klein Jacuzzi.
Keep going, because there's
Ramsgate.
Keep going.
We're almost there. Do you want me to finish that?
Because I feel like not when talking about things that are kind of loud and then going past the wineries.
Yeah.
And things
turn the volume up more and more.
That come back to themselves. Mark, tell me what's happening in July down at Sonoma Raceway.
It is race season. So the cool thing is July is really race season. So in the past, we've had kind of a summer long, and there's lots of things going on. There's Ferrari, there's motorcycle races, there's vintage car races. But the biggies for Sonoma Raceway are NASCAR and NHRA, and those are both happening in July this year. So NASCAR is the full weekend is July 11th through the 13th. There's races, the General Tire 200, and the next car, NASCAR in Xfinity Series happens on Saturday the 12th. But the biggie, the NASCAR race, the Toyota SafeMart 350, that's on Sunday, July 13th, and that's the big deal. That's the one that is broadcast live on Fox.
It's fantastic.
All over the country, people are watching it.
It's the only NASCAR race in California.
That's really?
It's the only one that comes to California.
There's not one down in Riverside anymore?
Take that, Riverside. No, according to me, no, I think it's the only. Let me look here again. I think that's the only NASCAR race this year.
Screw it. We can say whatever we want. This isn't.
Hey,
it's the only one west of the Mississippi.
Get your own podcast.
So and the other thing that makes it unique is the road course. So most times, if you are a NASCAR fan, you probably know this, I guess. But if you're a casual watcher,
that's me.
Of NASCAR, most of the tracks are just the oval, and it's just driving around and around in circles. Ours is a road course, and there's all these hairpin turns. There's hills,
insane elevation changes.
Very different experience, and so sometimes we have winners here that don't compete well in the other races because it's a different sport. I mean, you've got to be slamming on your brakes for slowing down to 10 miles an hour for turn 11, the hairpin turn.
The skidding around the turn is so cool.
Right.
I mean, it's really fun.
Yeah. And then jamming back on the gas to get going on the straightaway. So it's a really cool experience. You're here in wine country. The weather's beautiful.
Yep.
So highly recommend doing that.
Mark, have you done a hot laps there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a good time.
That is a very good time. It's I've done it enough times. But like I said, I've said this before, but I've done it where when you don't have really good vision. Yeah. Because I was doing the IndyCar Open behind. Yeah. So I was looking at the back of the driver's head. Yeah. Doing that with peripheral vision only is you're 100% going to get sick. Yeah. Because you couldn't see what was coming. Yeah. And you're moving around. But
so the first time I did it, we go there, and all of the drivers are these strapping young men, right? Yes. And so I get to, it's my turn in line, and it's this older gentleman, and I'm like, I got the dud, right? And then he pulls out these Italian leather gloves and slides them on all gracefully, and I was like, oh no, like this guy knows what he's doing. And sure enough, I sit in the car, my head snaps back, and this guy is whipping past all of the young guys.
They just know how to do it.
Oh yeah,
they know exactly where to do the lines.
Exactly,
and they're amazing.
Yep. So it's a really fun experience, and just shout out to Sonoma Raceway. They're involved with Sonoma, the Speedway Children's Charity. They do really amazing stuff. Okay. They're great. They don't need our stupid little organizations. Like they are a marketing machine with NASCAR, but they are so cool about partnering, about tying in with local, about involving local businesses there. So when you go there, you kind of get you get NASCAR, you get like top flight. These are the best car racers in the world. But you also get wine country. You get there's local ties and they want to integrate the community. So it's a really fun experience. If you've never been to NASCAR, similar to Broadway, I'm not ever going to some other NASCAR race. Right. It's just not going to happen. But this one, I love going to. It's a really fun experience. I go out there every year. Yeah, I love it.
It is very fun.
Mark, if you can't be here July 13th.
Yeah, because here's the problem. I like racing, but I don't like turning.
Yeah, I got a solution for you.
What?
Yeah, NHRA, and let me tell you, bring your earplugs. NHRA is not to mess around with. Right. The first year I went there, I brought my earplugs, and I'm like, I can handle this, right? And so there's a couple races, and they're sort of the smaller
go-karts
cars.
Yeah,
I mean they're drag cars, but it's not like the top fuel beast. When those things hit the gas, it is like nothing else. It really is cool. You can feel it inside your body, and you're like, oh, I'll put the earplugs.
So the earplugs, and some people put the the earmuffs on.
Yep. And they actually have some there that you can rent that I think you can actually turn to channels so you hear different things. And so that's kind of a cool experience. It's really cool. And like I said, there's stuff going on all year round. Right. So if you're planning this, NASCAR is July 13th. Again, there's the other two races on the 11th and 12th, but the biggie is NASCAR on the 13th. Yep. And then NHRA is that whole weekend, the 25th through 27th. Right. Either one is fun, really cool. NHRA, you can get up a little closer. Yep. And if you can't make those, check out the Ferrari race. Check out the vintage car stuff that happens there. They have 24 hours of lemons where the people who bring like the crappiest cars have to for 24 hours. Yeah. And then they have the Wednesday night drags. I think they still do that. I gotta go look. But you can go drag racing, bring your own car, race the cop. They do the drifting, stuff like that. So. There's all kinds of stuff going on all throughout the year, and it's just a lot of fun.
You can camp out there if you have an RV. Actually, a tent too, I think. So people do camp out there for.
Yeah, I've never done that. It's kind of like a secret guilty pleasure dream of mine to go do that one.
Really? Just like sneak. Do you have an RV?
I mean, I don't. They have like outfits that'll rent it. You just pay one price. They set out your RV. You go and you're in RV number 410.
For real?
Somebody can set you up with those. Or you can rent it from like Go America.
Yeah, we're going to rent one this summer to go to a family reunion. It's going to be fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Holiday road. So that's racing. I want to be mindful of time here, Mark, because I know that you've got to get to your next thing. Unless you had one other thing to bring up, and I think I see something that rhymes with all the W's. We already talked about Wine Down
Wednesday. Yep. Yeah. So we do this every month, and it's really fun. It's a cool promotion. So Wine Down Wednesday is Wednesday afternoons, the second Wednesday of every month. So we have a winery that's set up. So actually on June 11th, which is coming up very soon, we're going to be at Moon Hollow Estate. And then we haven't announced the July and August ones yet. But the second Wednesday of every month, we do it's no cost to come. You just come down, you get wines by the glass. It's just a nice like midweek thing. So if you're planning a trip to Sonoma and you want to start the weekend nice and early Wednesday night, and if you're here in town,
and lots of locals go to that, so you meet lots of people and get good ideas on what to go to.
Yep. So we kind of it's sort of like a networking thing.
It is. It's kind of like an industry insider event.
We definitely don't there's no agenda. We're not. We're at a winery.
You're not doing a PowerPoint and a timeshare.
No. There's no structure to this. Gotcha. It's just come down, hang out. And so Moon Hollow right on the Plaza, 481 First Street West next to Araldi's, the menswear store.
And Large Leather.
So
shout out to Jessica. Just talked to her today.
Yeah.
And Large Leather is, it sounds really big. It's really small.
Yeah.
and she is about as tall as Carole King.
Maybe while she's sitting down on the piano bench. Yeah.
And Jessica's always
small
fun.
But mighty.
I love Jessica. She's always fun.
She is. Yep.
And
makes amazing. Like you want to buy a belt that you will never replace. Go there.
I'm okay. Literally wearing one right now because I went to her and I'm like, these belts are always singing. And she went off on cheap belts and you're buying the wrong size. And she eyeballed it and she's great.
Yeah.
She's really good.
She's amazing.
So anyway,
she's been there for forever.
Moon Hollow also makes wine and is next to Large Leather.
Yeah.
And Raleigh's there.
So yeah.
Did I get them all?
There's all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, I could keep going for days.
Well,
but
before we move on then, tell me, Mark, if people want more information about the Sonoma Valley Chamber of Commerce, do you have a website?
Yep, SonomaChamber.org. If you want to check out the Friday Night Flights promotion, that's SonomaChamber.org/Friday Night Flights.
Good.
All the other stuff that we do is SonomaChamber.org/events.
Okay.
But I always tell people for fun things, go to your website. So what's yours?
Oh, SonomaValley.com.
There we go.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we try to not put a lot of the if it's we want to have one website that's all the fun stuff. We do all the kind of here's a seminar on bookkeeping for your business.
Here's CPR for the business.
The stuff where you go, I should probably do that.
Here's the latest California employment laws. Right. That's Mark.
Yeah,
which
I kind of need to do it.
No, it's important.
It's important to learn. Yeah. If there's anything going on in our community that's sad, we always put all the COVID stuff on my website. Tim's website, we're going to keep it pretty and pretend that everything's great.
What I tell everybody, because people do confuse us, which is remarkable because people who have seen us together, again, you are taller and you have different colored hair and eyes, but we're, I guess, both white men of a certain age.
We're interchangeable.
So
nobody cares.
I say I deal with telling people to come to Sonoma Valley and doing things that are from the hospitality standpoint.
Yep.
You do things back to Sonoma Valley, operations, keeping us moving, liaising with government.
Yep.
There is some overlap, but we are two different animals.
Yes. Yeah. And both nonprofit. We're neither of us is the city, which surprises
people confuse all the time, or the state. Yes.
So the good news, though, is that if you book a reservation at a hotel and you put in, government rate, and you go there and you hand them your card, they go, "Oh yeah, okay, here you go." So
great. Now the whole Peoria Chamber, who's already mad at me, are going to come here and get a bunch of cheap hotel rooms. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. So SonomaValleyChamber.org.
Yep.
Okay, and then SonomaValley.com for us.
And what's Robin's website? SonomaValleyWine.com.
SonomaValleyWine.com.
So all the information about the 200th Harvest Celebration, find wineries to go visit.
The Valley Moon Vintage Festival, all their stuff is happening there. Good.
Yeah, it's going to be a great summer. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a fun time around here. It's a great, take advantage of the weather. We have beautiful weather all summer long.
And I will plug that Mark does do, and he should have mentioned it. He does do the Tuesday night market.
Oh, yeah.
The Chamber does put that on with the city. Yep. And they sponsor a wine booth there. And Mark himself is often pouring wine, just talking to people.
New winery every week, so there's always something new to check out, and and we've got some great wineries coming up. We've got
fantastic
Lassiter Family Wines coming up soon. They've got a great. They're hitting their 20-year anniversary party, so July 19th, I believe. They've got a really cool party coming up.
Your head's like an encyclopedia of all these dates.
Yeah,
You're good.
I just had her on the radio show yesterday.
Well, that was my next thing. And Mark, you also have a radio show.
Yep, Thursday
Chamber
11.
Chat.
Yep, if you're in the area, 91.3 here on KSUI, the voice of the valley.
From Kenwood to Carneros.
All right, what you got? You got a sheet of paper.
You ready?
Looks like something's going to happen.
So, Mark, I can't let you out of here without doing this. So, Mark, we have 2 visitor centers. Yeah. We have professional staff. We have volunteers. Mm-hmm. People call us. They text us. info@sonomavalley.com. They text us 707-996-1090. They slide into our DMs. They ask us questions. You're going to help us in the segment we call We Get Questions. Ready?
This always freaks me out. My brain doesn't work the way that, I'm not a quick answer guy. Okay, let's see.
You're going to do great. Should I give them to you or not?
Oh, no, I want to hear them.
Okay.
I'm just preparing you for some umming and ahhing.
That's fine. Here we go. Ready? This is someone walked into our visitor center and asked, I saw something called the Old Faithful Geyser is nearby.
Yeah.
What the heck is that? And where is it?
I do know that. That's in Calistoga-ish. It's just outside of Calistoga. Yeah. And it's a small version of what happens in Jellystone.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. And
Calistoga's a cool spot, actually. We're here to convince people to come to Sonoma Valley. That's both of our jobs. But make a week of it. Go to Calistoga for a day. Check it out. There's Indian Springs, a really cool spa. There's some there's
barbecue.
Buster's Barbecue. barbecue right there. Yep. My mouth just started watering.
I know. I get over there, and it's right over the hill from where you grew up in Santa Rosa.
Exactly.
So it's not. It's actually not that far from here.
Yeah.
Safari West, who we promote, we say it's extreme northern Sonoma Valley.
Yeah.
They're on the way towards Calistoga.
Yeah.
And it's worth a stop.
I like Calistoga. There's some spots in Nampa that are a little frou-frou for me, but Calistoga is kind of like the Sonoma Valley of Up Valley Napa. It's kind of laid back and chill. You know, it's not the middle of nowhere, some bumpkin town, but it's
I'm just making a bunch of hayseeds walking around.
It's kind of got a cool. They I think like Sonoma have taken some pride in the agricultural roots, and I think kind of celebrate that a little bit more than some of the other wine communities. And I love that. It's a place you can go in jeans and go anywhere.
Right.
Like you're okay. And that's what I love about Sonoma Valley is you can go to the fanciest restaurant here wearing jeans. Most of the even pretty good restaurants, you're fine, and like as long as you don't have like paint dripping off of your.
No, I literally know the general managers of those places wear jeans.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
At work.
Yep.
So that's a
anyway, Calistoga, good town.
And that's where the Old Faithful guys are, which is a miniature version of the larger Old Faithful.
Right.
And
like a real, not a miniature, like a scale model that somebody built. Like this is a
it's an actual
geological phenomenon.
Well, it's the same geothermal that are in Sonoma Valley. It's the same.
Right. Yeah.
Remember that 1997 amazing hit Volcano, where Tommy Lee Jones was battling a volcano underneath L.A.
Yeah.
I know that because I was on TV the other day. In a similar vein, there are geothermal activity that goes up Northern California.
Yeah.
And Calistoga and Sonoma Valley are on that same
Okay.
line.
I did not know that.
I think the word fumarole, is that when I say that right now? I'll say the word fumarole.
Don't know.
It has to do with
Let's
springs.
pitch our good friends at Fairmont, whose pool is fed by those geothermal waters. So fun fact, I don't know if you know, you probably know this, but the pool water, it's warm when you get in it, and that's not because the sun is coming down. They actually have to cool the water. So the water that comes up would be like scalding hot. So they have to run it through a refrigeration unit before it spits into the pool.
It would be a bad thing to just straight line that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be uncomfortable. You wouldn't want to. Yeah, you'd turn into soup.
Welcome to Sonoma Valley Hospital.
But it's fun. It's cool. The water has like mineral properties that are supposed to be good and healing, and it's also really cool. I've been there. So you stay overnight at the Fairmont and go do like a night swim, and the water's all warm at night. Oh, it's amazing.
Under the stars. They're really cool.
So
there.
anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Shout out geothermal pockets of water.
Thank you, geothermal. Here's another question we got. These were. Who are these people? Are they Germans? Yes, they're Germans. They want to know which winery has the closest vineyards to the Plaza.
Vineyards closest to the... I think San Giacomo's going to be my guess. San Giacomo Family Wines. And they are, I'd say, a mile and a quarter south of the Plaza.
Yep.
So if you're at City Hall, you head south on Broadway. And just before Broadway, I'm making a hand movement.
You jog left, jog right.
Yep.
And if you don't jog left, you will get to the tasting room more quickly.
Yes.
But you will also go through all of their vineyards.
We'll also hear from our wonderful police
San
chief.
Giacomo will be mad at you too.
So San Giacomo, let's touch on them real quick. They've been farming that property since 1927, so they're coming up on a 100-year anniversary. Yeah. They've been growing grapes there. I don't know exactly how long, but say 50, 60 years of growing grapes. Originally, it was prunes and pears and almonds or whatever else people were doing around here. Hops, probably. In the 2010s, they started making their own wine, and then they opened up their tasting room there in 2020.
Great patio.
The timing was not ideal to open up a tasting room.
Did I say February 2020?
2020. But some trials and tribulations there. But now they're open. They take guests there. It is a wonderful experience. Yep. It is the best Pinot and Chardonnay in the world.
It's really good.
Tied with all of the other Pinot and Chardonnay.
Mark's about to get an angry text from someone.
But no, even the people that are the competitors, they buy grapes from San Giacomo.
Because they're the farmers.
Yeah, everybody.
They're known
farmers
for
first. They are the experts. If you want to make Chardonnay, your first call should be to the San Giacomos and talk to them about some of your grapes. So they make great wine. Anyway, right there, just south of the Plaza. Go there. Wonderful people, great experience, and a historic Sonoma property.
I like it.
Yeah.
So that's a very good answer, and I will accept that one. Good job. I will also sometimes tell people if they want to walk around a little bit, go along the Sonoma bike path and by Sebastiani Winery. Oh, yeah. You will pass the vineyards there.
Yep. Even closer.
Yeah, even closer. But they're both right. And it is kind of funny. You don't have to go very far to find grapes. Yeah. Off the Plaza, there's many in people's gardens.
Yeah.
And there's vineyards that maybe not wineries per se, but they're actually vineyards much closer than you think.
Right.
So you don't have to go far.
Yep.
Here's another one. Someone walked up to the cart today and asked.
These are fresh questions.
Oh,
huh?
I know. You don't know this, but I'm so mean. I go to the staff and volunteers on Fridays, and I'm like, I need questions because I don't repeat these questions.
Yeah.
So I have over
excited.
100 and something.
I didn't realize this was so timely.
Very timely.
Cool.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
What kind of cheese does Sonoma make?
What kind of cheese? Well, there's a few.
Mm-hmm.
Vella cheese.
Yep.
There are historic cheese making and the Viviani cheese factory there. So I think Jack cheese is kind of our claim to fame here. And there's some varying drynesses that you can find. So some are almost have like a Parmesan like getting there, like that really kind of firm cheese. And then I think traditional Jack is going to be a little softer, like a cheddar or something along those lines. So those two, and then there's places like Epicurean Connection, our good friend Shauna Davis, where you can go and actually make cheese and make fresh mozzarella and some other different things, burrata balls, and
so good.
I mean, and if you've never done
that?
It's really cool. It's easier than you would imagine. It's a little sprinkle of this and a sprinkle of that.
Every time I do it, I've done it like 5 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is witchcraft.
Yeah.
Because you start with the milk, you add like vinegar or something and like rennet or something and salt, and you like squeeze it, and all of a sudden you get this delicious soft cheese. Like it's literally cheese.
Right.
And you've only been there like an hour.
Yeah. And it's amazing. Like
it's good.
Fresh cheese. There's just nothing else.
Okay,
quite like
and
it.
she has like this.
That on a little bit of sourdough and.
Have you had that orange marmalade stuff she makes?
I don't think so.
So good. It's like this honey orange stuff.
Yeah.
She won't give me the recipe. Yeah. She's, why don't you stop by and buy some? I'm like, no, I want. It's so good.
She's a good businesswoman.
Yeah, she's smart.
Yeah.
So you're at Epicurean Connection, Sonoma cheese.
Yep. Ovello is a great place to go if you're interested in cheeses. They've got some cheeses. They have fresh. They house cure salamis. There's prosciuttos and other meats, and they have a really nice little. It's small, but they have a great selection of imported food products.
To go deli kind of feel there.
Yep. Yeah. And completely unrelated, but since I was picturing theirs, it reminded me that our friends at Palm have the best tin fish selection in the.
He does.
That's right. We don't have nobody's fact checking us. The best tin fish collection in California.
Actually, I think the world.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken,
I'm sure you're
Rick
not.
from Palm has told me.
Yeah.
In the universe.
Yeah.
The best tin fish.
They take great pride in this.
Right.
And that's another fun business to hit up if you're coming to town. Palm cider.
Hey, that strawberry. Have you had that strawberry cider they had once?
I don't think
it's
so.
like seasonal and it happens with strawberry. It's super good.
Yeah. You mentioned it with rosé. Your a previous experience from, 20 plus years ago, rosé was awful, right?
Right.
Same thing with cider. I had a cider when I think I was like a freshman in college, and it was just like. And at that time, you're just drinking anything you can get your hands on. And this was like the first thing that I drank where I was like, I would rather be sober.
Right. You're like, I think a Zima would be better than this.
Right, totally.
Yeah.
So it was just sticky sweet. It was gross. I hated it. And so I was like, in my brain, I don't like ciders because I tried one. So I didn't drink them again for, 25 years.
Oh.
When Rick opened up.
Yeah.
He joins the chamber, talking to me, yada, yada. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll come try your ciders and I'll pretend to like them. And sure enough, I get there. They're great. They're light. They're refreshing. They're balanced. That's the word of the day for me.
Good word.
And not sticky sweet. It's like this really interesting, yummy beverage that on a hot day.
It's so good. And also gluten-free. A lot of them, I think, just naturally. So for people who can't have gluten, ciders are always a good option too. It's like if instead of beer is what I'm saying.
Yep. And a good they have a good selection of non-alcoholic.
Absolutely. And the pet nat.
And they're serving hot dogs, which I'm always a big hot dog enthusiast.
A raclette hot dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Fancy pants.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, if you can do a hot dog, do a hot dog.
Rick he was on the podcast, but I think I should get him back. Have you had him on Chamber Chat?
Uh-huh.
Okay. It was fun. Since we do this in the afternoons, we were doing cider.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you guys do yours at 11 o'clock. Maybe you were also drinking cider, but usually
I have not. I have definitely drank during the show. That's but
depending
it's a
on
little
the
early.
guest.
Yeah.
Okay, final question. You're doing great. You passed them all. By the way, there is somebody, they're not in town, but we do have the California Cheese Trail map.
Yeah.
And I had the Strauss siblings on here earlier. There is someone making mozzarella, and we do keep the water buffalo. Some of them are still south of town in a field. So do not, I am terrified of milking a water buffalo. I don't know how they do that. Maybe they're in a suit of armor or something, but we do make mozzarella nearby.
And if you're coming, if you're planning a long trip to California, if you're listening from somewhere in, back east or wherever, Sonoma's got some good cheeses, but also like West County and West Marin, there's some really incredible stuff happening out there. So if you want to do like a whole food and wine thing, come here, stay in Sonoma. You can take little day trips out to some of these outlying areas and get, it's the best wine in the world, the best cheese in the world. It's really incredible stuff.
It's between the races.
Yeah.
If you come for NASCAR and stay for NHRA, you can do exploring.
Load up on cheese in the middle.
I love it. Final question we got. Mark, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You should consider volunteering. We're always looking for volunteers.
Okay, thank you.
This one just came right before lunchtime today.
Okay.
Where is the best burger to eat with a view?
Oh, boy, burger with a view. I would say... I'm pretty sure they've got a burger on the menu at Salt and Stone. That's probably what I would do.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Salt and Stone up there in Kenwood.
Yeah.
Good view of Hood Mountain.
A lot of our restaurants don't have great views. The restaurants are kind of tucked into. So Sonoma, it's an old community. There were and like all of the outlying areas, we want to grow grapes there. Right. So everything's kind of focused on right by the road. So the restaurants usually don't have great views per se.
So we did bring up you could get a burger and go to the view.
Yeah.
If that was also your thing.
Yeah.
Like Picasso has great burgers. And you could probably take that to a place.
Valley Swim Club, you can get a burger there.
Fantastic.
And there's a nice view looking west. If you go at the end of the day for sunset, golden hour, that's a great spot.
Okay, and there's a dog park across the street.
Yep. You know what else is a good option? It's not like a super gourmet burger, but Jack London Saloon. Grab a burger and a beer there and go sit on the patio overlooking Sonoma Creek. And that is a good
And sometimes they have music on Thursday nights? Thursday nights they have music.
Probably every night. And, they've got one of those beer taps that like something magic is happening there because the beer comes out just so wonderfully cold.
With the right temperature.
It is just,
it's how it should be.
And what a cool, old historic building right there by Jack London Park where literally Jack London lived. It's not just named after him because he wandered through and liked it. His house that he...
It's like walking by. He's buried there.
Right, totally.
I mean, he liked it so much he stayed.
Yeah, right. And this is a guy, he was like one of the most famous and wealthy people in the world at the time, and that's where he chose to be, which Glen Ellen's not a bad choice.
It's not, and you can join his yacht club.
Yeah, that's true.
I had another thought. Palooza has a burger. Palooza has a similar view as outdoors. It's up there.
Yep.
And also a good spot. But you're right. We don't, the restaurants we have concentrate on the food here. And that's what we're famous for and where we grow it. Sometimes you get places where the view is amazing and the food may not be up to par there. We're lucky that we have both.
Yeah. Can we talk new restaurants real quick? Because there's a couple great ones that just opened up. So you've been to Stella.
Yes.
Yeah. So Stella is the new Glen Ellen Star Italian-themed restaurant up in Kenwood. Kenwood's having this cool little mini renaissance. They've got a bunch of stuff happening there. The coffee shop is great.
Pillow Fight Coffee. Love it.
So Stella is the place up there. Area's doing great food. And then Poppy, the new Glen Ellen, Girl in the Fig location. Classic French dishes and in this like cute little bistro setting. And great, super local wine list. They've got a couple French wines on there too, but man, I had the best steak au poivre I've ever had there. It was so good. Yeah, it was just incredible. Okay. So those are two new dining hotspots. So if you're planning a trip here or if you're local and haven't been to those two, Stella's been open for a few months now, maybe 6 months. I don't know. A few months.
I like 3 months. Because I was going to add to that, Songbird Parlor started becoming a restaurant.
That's right.
Recently in a venue, and that food, again, it blew me away. I brought it before, but I was like, wow, Why is this restaurant hiding in here?
I think Chef Eric is his name, and he's a rising star in the culinary world. Lauren and Kenny that own the place, they also have West Wine Tours now. So they have classic VW buses. You can take a tour in those and go to a winery.
Stop by the Plaza at 10 o'clock or 10:30. You see them there every morning.
It's really cool. So some great new options, and those are ones you'll need to probably book in advance for a weekend because they're
going to fill up and they're small.
Everybody wants to check them out now.
I think Stella has lunch now.
Do they?
I think on the weekends.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't know.
That pasta was so good.
Oh yeah. And if you can go with a group, because then you can order like 6 different pastas and try them all.
And steal theirs?
I
see.
Yeah. And they have, speaking of cheeses.
Yeah.
Burrata bar.
Speaking of cheese.
Oh boy. They have a whole burrata bar. Like there's a section of the menu that's just for burrata. I could eat burrata every single day for 2 months, and I wouldn't complain once. I would never get tired of it.
Burrata is so delicious. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And they have different things they put on it. Anyway.
Mark.
Yep.
You passed the test.
I did?
Yeah, that's it. You passed it. That was really easy.
Now?
Yeah, what you get to do, Mark.
Go back to work.
Is go back to work for your chamber function. Yeah. But you did a good job there. Mark, before we let you go, though, if people started a business here and they want to be part of the chamber, what's the website to get more information?
SonomaChamber.org. Nice and easy.
Okay, Sonoma
707-996-1033. Or come find us at the farmer's market or come to the Stompers game. You know, we're everywhere.
Or listen to Chamber Chat.
Yeah.
Or whatever it takes, you can find Mark. That's what it is. Yeah. And when you're done joining the Sonoma Chamber of Commerce and you want to confuse yourself and realize that Mark and I are not the same people, go to SonomaValley.com for deals, special offers, and events. Mom and Dad, thanks for listening. And hey, shout out back to Ev for graduation and to Lola for graduating. Go Bears.
Yeah.
Go Bear Cubs.
Hey,
so
how about that?
There we go.
I love it.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.